utility player, and I say that very, very affectionately, really, because I think it's a real credit to him, because of the ability that he has. He can play in so many different positions at a level that Liverpool demand. I think he's a top-class player, and always enjoy watching him play.
Got to ask questions, Ian, about the decision to still have a Christmas tree up just outside the stadium there, whether the players are getting ready to walk in on January the 4th.
Well, actually, I've been in and around London for the last couple of days, and there are still a lot of trees. I think, is it the 6th that they've got to come down?
I'd say the 3 kings arrive on the 6th, so why wouldn't the Christmas tree still be up?
The 3 kings arrive on the 6th?
Yes.
Oh, right. OK, my bad. Well, I apologise to everyone who still has a tree up. We were like, New Year's Day, get it done. Players on their way out then at Craven Cottage, and I'm looking at Raul Jimenez. He's a funny one, Mark, in that he had such an amazing career prior to that awful injury at Wolves. He has really managed to re-find himself. Mexico have got a home World Cup coming up next year. Goodness, can't say that anymore. This summer. This feels like a really important season for him.
Absolutely. I think, obviously, we all know how horrendous the injury was that he sustained, and it's just unbelievable that he's back playing at the level he's playing at. And I think for Fulham, he's been a really good player and an important player, and I think under Marco Silva he's really flourished. He's got a manager that really believes in him and trusts in him, and this is the moment for him, isn't it? This is what you strive for. I don't know what it's like to play at your home World Cup, but I do know what it's like to play at a World Cup, and it's an incredible occasion and moment, and I'm sure, playing in a home World Cup will be one of his highlights, if not the highlight of his career, and they'll want to try, Mexico in particular, have a really good World Cup.
I noticed that Adama Traore is on the bench for Fulham this afternoon. He is one of those players who you do wonder, Mark, where's he going to be come the end of the window? It would be weird to sort of split him and Jimenez up. They've been together for about 10 years, it feels like.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, he's a player that when he was at Wolves, he's even talked about going to Liverpool. You thought that he may end up somewhere, at a big club like Liverpool, contesting for trophies time and time again. I think he's an exciting player, sometimes also very, very frustrating player. And I think when you look at the bench for Fulham, they kind of have the slight advantage, I think, for an impact player to come on. And certainly Adama Traore is one of them, the players you look to and you think, he can be a game changer. He could maybe, if Fulham need it, to do something late in this game to come on and make a big difference.
So still the only goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs is that goal for Preston, who lead by 1-0 at Bristol City. All of the other games in the Championship and League One are still 0-0 from the 3 o'clocks. All of the League 2 3 o'clocks were postponed, and it's 0-0 in all of the Premier League games. So once more with feeling, Spurs Sunderland, if you want that, it's on 5 Sports Extra. Newcastle Crystal Palace is available on Sports Extra 3. Everton Brentford is right now on Sports Extra 2, and there's been a goal, Sarah Mulkerrins.
There has, and it's come against the run of play because it has gone to Brentford. They are leading Everton by 1-0, and it is their top goal scorer, Igor Thiago, who has been able to finish it off. A lovely dink ball into the area. He stole in, unmarked, able to dink it into the back of the net. He's not scored since the end of November, but he's back scoring. Brentford lead Everton by 1-0 here.
So you know exactly where to go if you want any of those individual commentaries. Here on 5 Live, you'll get the game at Craven Cottage and all of the other goals as they go in up and down the land, plus the latest from the rugby at Welford Road as well. Fulham versus Liverpool then, and to come later at 5:30, that massive game in the Premier League, which you'll get on 5 Live, Manchester City versus Chelsea. All starts at Craven Cottage with Mark Schwarzer and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. And one of those goals that has just gone in around the country is at Adams Park, where Wycombe Wanderers are leading AFC Wimbledon by 1-0 in League One. So this game delayed by a quarter of an hour due to a medical issue here at Craven Cottage. That's why we're just getting underway at 3:15, and Liverpool have made 3 changes, with Kirkers coming in for Robertson at left back. McAllister returns to the side as well, as does Cody Kakpo for Frimpong and Ekatike, who is missing due to a minor fitness issue. It means that Alisson is in goal, Bradley, Van Dijk, Kanate and Kirkers is the defence. Jones, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz and Gakpo, and we'll see how Liverpool line up, all in red as they'll play in this first half. from left to right against the Fulham side, all in white, who've also made 3 changes. Leno is in goal, back 3 of Anderson, Cuenca and Diop, the wing-backs Castagna and Robinson, Lukic, Kearney, Wilson, Smith-Rowe and Raul Jimenez. It is Fulham who get us underway, and for their 3 changes, that means that Castagna comes in for the injured Tete, Diop for Berger and Kearney for birthday boy Kevin. Mark.
Yeah, we're just looking at the lineup here. It looks like Szoboszlai is on the right-hand side, Curtis Jones is on wide on the left, or sort of, I would say, more attacking midfielder's position, and you got Florian Wirtz in behind Cody Gakpo as the number 9.
Well, anybody, not just Wirtz, who's been in that 10 role, if you like, for Liverpool, has yet to contribute a goal, whether to actually score one themselves or even provide an assist in that area for Liverpool this season. It's been a bit of a problem for them, as Liverpool, with their supporters in the Putney end, away towards our left-hand side, and half of that Putney end making a lot of noise as we welcome listeners to the BBC World Service, wherever you are in the world. A Happy New Year to you, and thank you for joining us here at Craven Cottage in West London, where the sun is shining, but it's dropping rather quickly now behind that Riverside stand over on the far side. But it is a crisp, fresh afternoon. But we're just underway then for this 3:15 kickoff in the Premier League, where both sides are unbeaten. Fulham, albeit in 4 games, but has still seen them pull away from the perils of relegation, and Liverpool unbeaten in 8 in all competitions. But they are facing an extremely hectic month of January. This is the second of 9 games that they will play in the first month of 2026. They're seeing a lot of the ball at the moment. Szoboszlai in the centre circle, lays it off towards Wirtz. Wirtz tries to get away from the dark-haired Cuenca. Bradley showed too much to the Fulham player, and Fulham have turned over the ball with Smith-Rowe up towards Jimenez, drifting out towards this near side, the left, pursued by both Bradley and Gravenberch, and Liverpool should tidy this one up. Just the delay in kick-off. I asked you whilst we were waiting to come on air, Mark, but just give us a little bit of insight as to what it's like from a player's point of view when you have such a delay.
Well, the delay was announced very, very late, wasn't it? So I think, 10 minutes or so before the kick-off of the game that they announced there was going to be a 15-minute delay. So the players have already finished their warm-up. They're already back in the change room. So they're all of a sudden you're feeling like, okay, I've got to go back out again and do a sort of a real short extra warm-up just to make sure that we're switched on again and kind of keep it back to normality. So you go back out, do that 5-minute warm-up again, and then you're back out ready to start the game as if it were a 3 o'clock kickoff.
That's Mark Schwarzer, who's encountered many delay in his career, over 700 appearances in his English career, and an Australian centurion that will make no cricketing references whatsoever regarding the Ashes, I think.
Now that you brought it up, I mean, we are 3-1 up, and it's been pretty easy, really, let's be honest.
Where will we go then next in the Premier League? We've heard that Everton 0, Brentford 1 is the latest score. Earlier, Ellen Road, Leeds United 1, Manchester United 1 is how it finished, as Robinson waits on this near side. We've got commentary options at Tottenham, Sports Extra, Spurs against Sunderland. Everton Brentford is on Sports Extra 2, and Newcastle Crystal Palace is on Sports Extra 3. So a choice of listening, as there's a goal in League One at Huddersfield. Nathan Albert.
And it's come to Huddersfield, Ian, against Exeter City. Marcus Harness, central position, took a touch and then rolled it into the bottom corner from 20 yards out. Huddersfield 1, Exeter 0.
Goal at Newcastle now, Mike Maine.
And Newcastle have opened the scoring. Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 0. Anthony Gordon taps it in to an open net after being squared the ball by Johan Wissa, who raced through on goal, knocked it past Dean Henderson, and Gordon, with a quick adjustment of his feet, had to just tap it in left-footed. Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Commentary of that is live on Sports Extra 3. You can find it. It's a streaming service available through the BBC Sounds app. Download the app. You'll see the little dial at the top, and you can just scroll through and pick out whichever commentary you wish to listen to. 0-0 here in the early stages at Craven Cottage. We've been playing for 4.5 minutes. And here is Szoboszlai, able to turn, threads it through to Gravenberch on the run, helps it on its way into the centre circle for Wirtz. Powering forward on that far side, the left is Kerkez. Midway through the Fulham half, Kerkez slows down. Wirtz is ahead of him on the left. Wirtz then has his cross blocked. It'll rebound towards Kirkes, still in an attacking position. Jones, not closed down, left corner of the area, and inches his way in towards the penalty area. And Gakpo with the shot that takes a deflection behind for a corner as we go to the rugby and Chris Jones.
Yeah, vintage Leicester Tigers in front of a loud home crowd. They've got a second. Ollie Cracknell from short range, and they lead Saracens by 14 points to nil almost halfway through the first half.
It was a decent attack by Liverpool.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's been a bit of a frantic start, as you would expect. Both sides want to play out at the back. On that occasion, Liverpool, that play started all the way in their own half. They just played around and through Fulham quite easily, actually. And then in the end, obviously a deflected shot and almost caught Bernardo out.
Gakpo to take the corner kick, far side the left. Van Dijk was up, drops to the area, hit by Wirtz, blocked by a crowd of bodies. Rebounds towards Gravenberch along the ground, back out towards the left. Gakpo running forward at pace, just to the edge of the area, tees it back towards McAllister. McAllister had Kirkes darting ahead of him. In the end, it's Szoboszlai who sends over the cross. Van Dijk has stayed forward, and then Fulham clear the ball away. And it is clattered away by Kearney. As we go back to Newcastle and Mike Minay.
And we are back to 0-0. That goal ruled out for offside against Yohan Wissa as he raced through to tee up Anthony Gordon. His left shoulder, the back of his left shoulder was offside. He's just had a glance to the big screen and seen the decision for himself. Semi-automated offside technology giving that one in Crystal Palace's favour. He's back to 0-0.
Huddersfield 1, Exeter City 1 are latest in League One. Plymouth Argyle 1, Burton Albion 0. As Plymouth Argyle take the lead at home park. Robinson for Fulham. Infield towards Jimenez. Forward ball. Smith Rowe latches onto it. Left side of the penalty area. Looks up, delivers the cross, and cleared on the full by Kirkes. Headed forward then by Jimenez, and then it is McAllister who will volley it a long way downfield and taken neatly by Diop and back towards Leno.
Yeah, it was really good control from Diop. What I like so far is that the combination play between Smith Rowe and Jimenez. There was one earlier on where there was a ball pumped right up to Jimenez at pace. He gets a flick on and just can't control it in the path of Smith Rowe. This occasion, it was a really nice ball in behind. Smith Rowe puts a good cross into the 6-yard box area. Unfortunately for Fulham, there wasn't anyone on the end of it, and Liverpool were able to clear quite comfortably.
That's the voice of Mark Schwarzer as we sit here together in the Johnny Haynes stand. I know you'll be biased anyway because of your time that you spent here, but it is one of my favourite grounds in English top flight here at Craven Cottage, with the cottage just tucked away towards our left.
Well, I don't have to be biased, do I? You've just said it yourself. There you go.
Yeah.
It is a special place, it really is. If you haven't been to Craven Cottage, you've got to come to a Premier League game because it's an amazing atmosphere.
My point being is that you will have many more a special memory than I will.
Yeah, there will be a few more, I think. But then you've been around a long time, haven't you?
Here is Bradley, short of the halfway line, back from Wirtz, now towards Konate, and then goes square towards Van Dijk. Kirkes, for the second time this afternoon, has made a little dart. On this occasion, he was only 6 yards inside the Fulham half, but it wasn't spotted. But that's something that Fulham will need to be alert of. I guess when you're playing with the wing backs, you get the space, don't you, in behind? Yeah, and I think for Kirkes, it just suits him down to the ground, doesn't it? He loves to get forward. He's got that pace. He's always looking to try and break the line from deep in his own half. Curtis Jones has got a job in his hand there to make sure the communication between him and Kirkes is very good. He's going to drop in at times to help out if Kirkes is really far up on the left-hand side. Here is Van Dijk, strokes it forward along the ground. Jones with the layoff to Kirkes in front of the dugout area there in that redeveloped stand, the Riverside stand. As back it goes towards Van Dijk. His forward ball. Wirtz will give chase. Leno is to the edge of his area and sweeps it downfield. Goal at Cardiff City in League One. Hamish Marshall.
Leaders Cardiff lead Wigan by a goal to nil, and it's their captain Callum Chambers. Ball came to him 20 yards out. He was keen on getting his eye on goal, and he certainly did. Cardiff 1, Wigan 0.
Cardiff City, who were joined at the top after Lincoln City's 5-2 victory against Peterborough earlier at Sincilbank. What a season that Lincoln City are enjoying. Here is McAllister to Wirtz. Out it goes to Szoboszlai. First time cross blocked by Robinson, who's a Liverpudlian. Now it's with Bradley, back in field to McAllister and Konate. On the stretch with Szoboszlai. In the end, dispossessed. Smith Rowe took that neatly in his feet, but as he just tried to spin away, he actually ran out of playing service and conceded a throw.
Yeah, he knew Konate was going to be right on his heels, and he does so well, Smith Rowe. His touch is excellent. Only problem is he just couldn't quite grab his footing quickly enough, and the ball goes out for a throw-in, but nice little play.
So with the back five that Fulham are playing with, Lukic then is in the centre of midfield with Kearney. Wilson is out to the left, Smith Rowe to the right behind Raul Jimenez, but they've picked up after what was a slow start to the season.
Yeah, they have, yeah, definitely. I mean, for Fulham, what's important is as well, when they do have balls going into the midfield, because Liverpool have got players dropping short a lot, one player has to go. One of the centre-halves has to look to come in, or one of the wider players looks to come in and make up the numbers.
Well, with Lincoln's victory at Sincilbank earlier, and the leaders Cardiff leading 1-0 against Wigan Athletic, it's important for Bradford City, who are third in the table, for them to respond. And there's been a goal at Bloomfield Road. Adam Cottier.
They are doing. They lead here at Blackpool by 1-0. Aidan Baldwin with a thumping right foot shot in the penalty area after a diagonal ball into the box. Blackpool 0, Bradford 1.
Chance here for Liverpool while we're away. Gakpo just seemed to scuff it, really. It wasn't a clean strike as it went wide.
Yeah, I think his run was really good. You could see it as he gets played through. I think he's just onside as well. It's a really nice ball through. I think it's from Curtis Jones, and I think Gakpo just gets a little bit ahead of it, and he has to wait for the ball a little bit. And as he waits for it, Fulham player comes across, and he has to try and get a shot off before he gets the challenge in. And he just scuffs his shot wide across the face of the goal.
Good opening, nevertheless, though, wasn't it, for Liverpool? Wrexham, who've had an excellent festive period. Phil Parkinson's side really have been stringing the wins together. They're looking for a fourth successive win, and they've taken the lead at Derby County. Derby County 0, Wrexham 1 is their latest score in the Championship. Ball over the top for Liverpool. Jones running forward on that far side, the left, and they'll keep the ball in play as they attack the Hammersmith end of the ground. As Liverpool play from left to right, for those of you who know Craven Cottage. Here is Gakpo, 25 yards out from goal. Back out it goes to that left touch line. But Jones, no pressure on the England international, passes the ball towards Van Dijk, and now inside to Konate in the centre circle. He sold Bradley a little bit short, but he tries to roll away from Robinson. Robinson is quick to close down the Liverpool right back. Liverpool keep possession, and it is with Konate. The minute Liverpool are seeing a lot of the ball, again Gakpo's made that run in between. On that occasion it was Anderson and Diop. Back towards Leno. He's going to have to get rid of this quickly because it was Jones herring towards the Fulham goalkeeper. Trying the rugby, Chris Jones.
Yeah, Saracens needed to respond, and they have. Try Theo McFarlane from close range to the silence of Welford Road. Tigers 14, Saracens 7.
This is a good spell for Liverpool, Mark.
It is. Sometimes you feel for Liverpool there's too many players coming to the ball. Not enough space out wide. Kirkis is really far out on the left-hand side, and there's about a 40-50 metre gap between him and the next Liverpool player. Everybody's coming towards the ball. Wirtz, Sloboslai, Gakpo.
It's controlled, but at times this is where they can sometimes struggle to break down sides who just sit deep. We've seen it against Sunderland, where they eventually got the 1-1 draw at home against Anfield. We saw it against Leeds United the other day, where you're relying on a moment of magic, aren't you? As the ball has sent Wilson away for Fulham downfield, but tidying up there was Van Dijk back towards Alisson.
Yeah, and certainly here at Craven Cottage, where you've got this feel of being really tight in the pitch, and you know, Fulham have got obviously 3 at the back, 5 when they're dropping a bit deeper, and then all of a sudden the area is just so congested. The ball has to be absolutely spot on, and at the moment for Liverpool, they're not quite 100% on that here.
Let's get news of that Exeter City equaliser. Oh, hold on, Nathan. Wirtz comes forward for Liverpool. Still 0-0. Been playing now for 14 minutes here at Craven Cottage. Wirtz, right corner of the area, tries to a dink pass into the path of Bradley. That was blocked, but Fulham defending deep, all in white, as they defend that Hammersmith end of the ground away towards our right-hand side. But Nathan, you can tell us about the Exeter equaliser.
And it's a case of anything you can do, I can do better. Very similar goals. This time Reece Cole for Exeter receives 25 yards out and slams it into the net. Huddersfield 1, Exeter 1.
Blackburn and Charlton, two sides meeting out of form in the Championship at Ewood Park. Blackburn 1 winning 9, Charlton 1 winning 10. But Charlton Athletic have taken the lead there in Lancashire. So Blackburn 0, Charlton 1 is the latest score. Remember, we were only underway at 3:15 here at Craven Cottage. So when I said we're in the 14th minute, don't worry, the new watch that you might have been bought at Christmas isn't on the blink already. It was that we had a delayed kick-off by a quarter of an hour here at Craven Cottage as Diop in field to Lukic, who will dart forward for Fulham. Castagna on the right gives the ball back towards Lukic, who whips over the cross, and it requires Bradley to drop to his knees and chest the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's a really good ball from Lukic as he whips it into that far post area, and Conor Bradley does what he has to do. He defends that back corner really, really well. The problem is Alisson, he's looking to come for it. It's in behind him, sort of over his shoulder, and by the time he turns and sees that Bradley's got time, it's too late. So Bradley just does what he has to do, and he chests the ball out for a corner.
It was the first meaningful attack from Fulham this afternoon, a quarter of an hour play. They're attacking putting the end from right to left, all in white. Liverpool have every red shirt inside their penalty area. Lukic, who has wandered across to the left corner of the area, gets the ball now, does Lukic, and Lukic will deliver a left-footed cross deep. Anderson will try and keep it alive. Kearney hooks it back into the penalty area, headed away by Gravenberch. Still that bouncing ball. Liverpool might try and break here with Wirtz, brings the ball under control, held by Anderson. They're appealing for a free kick. A referee, who is Craig Pawson incidentally, has not given it. It's kept the game flowing. Yeah, Fulham have the ball.
I don't think it's a free kick at all. Wirtz just got caught with possession of the ball. Fulham do really well to hustle him though. They swarmed him, didn't give an opportunity really to see the runner. Gakpo was making a run through, as was Szoboszlai. And because of defending and because they swarmed him so quickly, he wasn't able to keep control of the ball.
There's a goal at Tottenham. Chris Wise.
Hotspur 1-0 up against Sunderland on the half hour. All the defenders involved. Corner from the left, deep towards the far post. Rivera.
Well, Fulham thought they'd scored here. Ball through to Harry Wilson against his former club. But the flag was raised as soon as the ball went past Alisson into the back of the net. VAR will naturally have a look at it, but the fact that the linesman, it was instantaneous as far as the assistant on that far side's concerned.
I think he's onside. That's a goal. This is going to be a goal. I actually thought it was a goal because Harry Wilson's making a really delayed run. I think this is a goal. I think he's onside. It's a really good finish from Harry Wilson. What a player in form. Smashes it with his left foot. Having a look on the monitors in front of us, I think he's onside.
Well, Harry Wilson began his career at Liverpool, but he only made 2 appearances for them before they sold him to Fulham some 5 years ago for £12 million, and he has been in form. Scored 5 goals before today, but well, some of the supporters around us here in the Johnny Haynes stand are looking around. Mark's just given them thumbs up. Mark is convinced this goal will stand.
Yeah, from the replay that we saw, to me he looks onside. Been wrong before, but it looked like he was onside.
The thing is, it's a not a lengthy delay, but if it was automatic, the goal you'd think would stand already, wouldn't you? Here we go. Craig Pawson. Goal stands. The goal stands and Fulham lead. Belated celebrations at Craven Cottage. Harry Wilson against his former club puts Fulham ahead. Onside, 1-0.
That's the threat that Harry Wilson gives you. He makes those runs in behind, off the shoulder. He keeps going. The ball wasn't actually intended for him. For Fulham, as it gets played through, you can see on the replay he's onside by quite a considerable margin actually. And Harry Wilson is the one that runs through, and he makes no mistake with the finish. It's a really good finish. Smashes it across the face of the goal, gives Alisson absolutely no chance whatsoever. Great finish.
Left-footed across Alisson into the right-hand side of the net, and Fulham 1-0 up. And for Liverpool, when they've conceded first in the Premier League this season, they are yet to win. They've lost 6 and they've drawn 1 against, and that was against Sunderland. Charlton Athletic have got a second goal against Blackburn in the Championship. Fulham lead here Liverpool by a goal to 0. We're going back to Tottenham. Chris Wise.
That Spurs goal scored by Ben Davies from close range on the half hour. Van der Ven teed him up, 4 yards out, poked it in. First goal for over 2 years for him. Spurs 1, Sunderland 0.
Commentary of that is on Sports Extra. Gravenberch heads it towards Bradley on this near side. Gravenberch towards Gakpo. Holds off Anderson, falls to the floor, gets a free kick midway through the Fulham half. Derby County, incidentally, have equalised at home to Wrexham. Derby County 1, Wrexham 1 is the latest score in the Championship. He did take the goal well, though, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, the run was excellent. I'd love to see the replay again because I can't remember actually who played the ball through. And I think Jimenez is one, I think, possibly that tries to get the control, maybe lets it go, and that's what allows Harry Wilson to continue his run. Ball goes perfectly into his path, takes a touch, and just smashes it across the face of the goal into the back of the net.
Szoboszlai with a free kick for Liverpool, curling into the area. Diop heads it out. Jones miscontrols. In the end of the second attempt, pass the ball back to Gravenberch. Gravenberch's on the halfway line in the centre circle, and then as Kearney goes towards him, Tom Kearney, only his second Premier League start for Fulham. The other one was against Arsenal back in October. His presence alone was enough to force Liverpool back. Here is Bradley, though, for Liverpool now, midway through the Fulham half. Finds Gravenberch outside the centre circle. Under the clear blue skies on this cold afternoon in West London. Gravenberch can't thread a ball through. It's a crowd of white shirts. Eventually it will get towards Szoboszlai. Then it's Castagna who will clear it long for Fulham, and we'll go back to the Rugby Union and Chris Jones.
Yeah, all happening here. Leicester got their third try. It was a beauty. Billy Searle, great break. He put a kick through. Adam Radwan finished magnificently. Searle was clattered by Daly, who's gone to the bin. Tigers over the line looking for fourth. I think this one's held up, but it's all Leicester, lead by 19 points to 7. 10 minutes left of the half.
Well, in the Premier League, Leeds United 1, Manchester United 1 is how it finished earlier. Everton 0, Brentford 1, Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0. Tottenham are leading Sunderland by a goal to 0. Everton is on Sports Extra 2, Newcastle is on Sports Extra 3, and Spurs on Sports Extra. But here we are at 5 Live Sport. Fulham lead 1-0.
Yeah, Fulham just had a half a chance there again. So Lukic makes a run through. It's a bit of a coming together with him and another Liverpool player. The ball ricochets off him and through. Jimenez almost gets on the end of it, but I think on that occasion Jimenez would have been offside.
Szoboszlai, Gravenberch leaves it now for McAllister, who drives the ball out towards the left, and Kerkez will send in the cross, but it's low and cut out easily by Diop, and out it goes for a throw for Liverpool that Kerkez will take back towards McAllister. He finds Gravenberch inside. Gravenberch invites Konate to come forward. Short sleeve red shirt but wearing gloves. Bradley on the right touchline to Szoboszlai, rolls away from his marker Cuenca. Gravenberch will pass the ball back then towards Konate. Down the side it goes on this right for Liverpool, but Bradley being forced away by Robinson, who tracked him almost to the halfway line. Blackburn Rovers have got a goal back at Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers 1, Charlton Athletic 2 is the latest score. Fulham lead 1-0. Here is Wirtz. Gravenberch back on the halfway line. Every Fulham player is back behind the ball, making it very, very difficult for Liverpool to try and find a way through.
Yeah, it's a clear game plan, isn't it? Back three. Obviously, when they're defending, there's almost like a back five, really compact, close the areas down the middle, don't allow Liverpool to find those spaces, little intricate passes, and it's worked really well so far.
Wirtz looks for Kerkez, and it peters out for a goal kick. We'll go to Everton, Sarah Mulkerrins.
Everton 0, Brentford 1. Brentford dominating this, and Everton had a couple of chances. Irabunam on the ball in the area, dragged it wide, and Barry headed into the hands of Caoimhín Kelleher. Everton 0, Brentford 1.
Brentford unbeaten in 4. Millwall are leading Swansea. They went into that game with back-to-back wins, but Millwall are ahead. Millwall 1, Swansea City 0 is the latest score in the Championship. Leno all in blue away towards our right, clears. Well, Jimenez got a little nudge from behind by Konate, which has upset the Fulham supporters around us.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a kind of coming together. I don't think there was enough in there to warrant a free kick. I've just been informed by George, our producer, that it was Raul Jimenez's ball through to Harry Wilson, which was a brilliant ball.
It certainly was. Here is Gravenberch. I'd have had money on Robinson or somebody like that, because he seemed to come this near side, the left.
That's right, and it was a really deep run from Harry Wilson. He timed it perfectly, and like we mentioned before, the finish was excellent.
Bradley stumbles, falls over, loses the ball. Robinson finds Kearney. And then the ball by Cuenca is infield, flicked back by Lukic. Anderson passes the ball forward to the edge of the centre circle, dropping to one knee is Jimenez, and he was fouled, and he'll get the free kick. I know I said to Mark not to mention the cricket, but England 211 for 3. Did have a decent first day before, of course, play was curtailed. So our coverage tonight is at 10:45 on the second day of Sports Extra of the 5th and final test at Sydney.
Are you getting excited about one day's decent cricket? It's already over, right?
I was deliberately not looking at you. Here is Gakpo. Gakpo to the edge of the area, back towards the box line, looks for a shooting opportunity. Kirkes passes the ball into the penalty box, blocked, and Castagna will get the ball away, but it bypasses the goal scorer Wilson. But it will be kept in play by Jimenez, but no, it actually has gone out of play on that far side. Told you that Millwall had taken the lead. Here's Paul Gilmore.
Ivanovic with the goal, 1-0 after 38 minutes on the turn inside the area. A strong, low effort under the otherwise excellent Vigouroux. Millwall 1, Swansea 0.
I'm not too sure somebody who can be 6'5". You are 6'5", 6'4"?
6'4".
Yeah. Could be described as impish. As Bradley delivers the cross from the right, Castagna was tucked in to head the ball away. Kearney gets away from McAllister. Battle of the two number 10s, and now passes the ball out towards Jimenez, who runs in field, holds on to the ball, sees it towards Wilson, keeps it alive. Here is Smith Rowe for Fulham, who lead by a goal to 0. Robinson is now forward on the left. McAllister has actually stayed down for Liverpool, but Fulham still have it. Lukic is back to his feet, but hobbling is the World Cup winner. Robinson makes the run, left-hand side of the area. Back it goes towards Kearney, cut out by Bradley. Here is the impish Mark Schwarzer.
It's very good play from Fulham. I'm not sure. I mean, I think McAllister has justification in complaining, because Jimenez does really well initially, keeps control of the ball, does really well as a number 9. It's what you want him to do, hold play up a little bit, takes on a few players, good control. His last touch is a little bit heavy. As he slides out, he's got a stretched leg, and he kind of passes the ball, looks like either with his toe or with the studs of his boots, and that's where McAllister potentially was caught. I'm not sure, I haven't seen the replay, but that's how it looks. So I can understand maybe he did get caught after the pass from Jimenez.
Here is Lukic in the midfield for Fulham, and running forward at pace, midway through the Liverpool half. Castagna deputising for the injured Tete. Wilson keeps hold of the ball, like it might have gone away from him at one stage. Kearney on the halfway line now for Fulham. They lead by a goal to 0. This is his 369th appearance, Tom Kearney. He's actually one away from moving level with Sir Bobby Robson's tally of 370 that would take him into the top 15 in the all-time appearance list for Fulham players down the years. He's been such an excellent servant for Fulham as Kearney, even though starts have been in short supply in recent seasons. In fact, he only made 3 Premier League starts throughout the whole of last year's campaign. Anderson to Wilson, the goal scorer. Fulham are 1-0 up. Now he looks for a diagonal ball, and he's picked out the run of Robinson. What a ball that was. Struck his hand. It'll be a free kick to Liverpool. We'll go to Huddersfield. Nathan Albert.
Where Huddersfield are back in front at home to Exeter. The ball rolled across the face of goal, and there was Bojan Radjulovic at the far post to roll it in. Huddersfield 2, Exeter 1.
They've certainly grown into the game, haven't they, Fulham? After what maybe it was a slow start, but then since the goal, you can see the confidence levels have certainly increased.
It has, and I think for Liverpool, there's a slight question mark now, isn't there? Because they've been beaten on a ball that's sort of played in behind, a little bit high up the pitch, and they've been punished for it. So then all of a sudden, you start to think, okay, we can't get beaten by another ball in behind like that. So they sort of drop it a little bit deeper, and Fulham obviously are buoyed by that goal, so they're a bit more confident, they're a bit more on the front foot.
Here is Robinson again on this near side, the left. Infield to Wilson. Awkward for him to control, but he does do exactly that. Waits for it to settle. Passes the ball out towards Robinson. And Gravenberch is the one who having to slide back and push the ball out for a throw.
They just have a lot more space going forward for them, don't they? And most of the time it's because they either win the ball in transition, or they're a little bit more direct and a little bit quicker at getting the ball up the pitch. So then Liverpool are trying to track back. There's a bit more space for them. On the other hand, Liverpool a bit slower in their build-up. Players coming towards the ball, more congestion, not a lot of space to play.
We're approaching the half-hour mark here on BBC Radio 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app, and also live on the World Service. Robinson with a throw, headed away by Van Dijk. It's going to come back out to this near side. It'll be another Fulham throw.
I think he's close to a whole foot over the line. when he threw that ball in. Luckily nothing came of it. The linesman wasn't watching.
Robinson this time feeds it to Smith Rowe and he hits it in low. It's a good delivery, but it's cleared by Van Dijk. Kearney brings it under control. Lukic now in the midfield to Castagna. Tese, who's missing for Fulham with a hamstring problem. Of course, they're still missing Bassi, Chukwueze and Iwobi, who are away at the African Cup of Nations. Nigeria play Mozambique tomorrow in their last 16 game. Here is Robinson, infield to Wilson. Lukic now takes over. He's seeing a lot of the ball, the Serbian international. Passes it short. Kearney alongside of him will walk forward. Smith Rowe just in from the left touch line. Fulham 1-0 up, playing from right to left. Here is Lukic. Liverpool now are the ones with everybody back behind the ball, all in red. Still in these bright conditions on this cold afternoon. As Anderson gives it to Kearney. Kearney dropping deep. Smith Rowe comes under pressure. They lose the ball, as does Kearney. Now it's Szoboszlai, 3 against 4. Liverpool, Wirtz pushed out wide, right hand side, enters the box, does the step over, in it goes, and it was looking for Jones with a little flick, and it was seen back behind for a corner kick, because he just tried to tickle the ball in from close range.
Yeah, very good play from Liverpool. Szoboszlai's ball to Florian Wirtz was really good. Wirtz does so well on the ball, keeps control of it, waits for the opportunity, cuts it back towards the danger zone, just inside the 6-yard box, and Curtis Jones just does not get enough on the shot, does he? He's in a really good position, I have to say. The defending from Fulham was also excellent. I think it's Castagna, is it? Gets across.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Really important block.
It's going to be a corner kick then on this right-hand side for Szoboszlai to take it. It's an outswinger. It's headed up by Castagna, headed further away by Wilson, drops towards Wirtz, lets it roll down his body, out towards Szoboszlai, back inside to Wirtz, gives it back to the Hungarian international. He sends over the cross, Gakpo with the header, hits the crossbar, flag was up anyway, wouldn't have counted. But it just hit the top of the upright of the right-hand post, 1-0 Fulham.
Oh well, it was a great ball from Szoboszlai. Cuts it back on his left foot and whips it in. He's actually on his right, plays it across. Gakpo is, so close, isn't it? His header, he loops it back across the face of the goal. It just hits the upright. I mean, he's got a free header, 6-yard box. It's one of those saves. It's got to score.
Thing is that they're not creating chances, are they? That wouldn't have counted, but that was only the second chance that they've created so far in what? 32 minutes?
Well, it certainly would have gone to VAR because it was really tight. I'm not sure it was as clear-cut offside as maybe the linesman thought it was, but that was their best chance so far. I mean, the one before was big. Castagna's last-ditch defending. Curtis Jones just didn't quite get the connection on the cutback that he needed, because had he have done so, it probably would have been a goal for Liverpool.
We are a delayed kickoff, so they'll be going half times in a lot of the games around the country, such as at Ashton Gate. Molly Stevens.
Yeah, we're at Preston lead at half time, and it's thanks to their top goal scorer Lewis Dobbin, who has 2 goals in 2. A vulnerable Bristol City defence didn't clear their ball. Jordan Thompson picked it up in the midfield, fed it on to Dobbin, who found the bottom right-hand corner in the 8th minute. It lifts them to 4th in the table, but I must say Bristol City have had great chances of their own. Explosive football here at half time. It's Bristol City 0, Preston 1.
12 minutes played, or 12 minutes to go to half time rather. 33 minutes played here. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. There's Canate to Bradley. The number 12 for Liverpool is sent scampering away down the right-hand side, and the combination of Anderson and Robinson will deter him, and it goes out for a throw. And in fact, the supporter actually heads the ball back in play. He met that very well, would you?
Good timing. Yeah. Really good timing on that. I mean, lacks a little bit of power on it, though. That's the only criticism I'd give on that one.
Half-time involving the League One leaders, Cardiff. Hamish Marshall.
The lead Wigan by a goal to 0, deservedly so, but they've only got Callum Chambers' strike from 20 yards to show for it. They paid for not putting the game to bed at Wickham on New Year's Day. They won't want to repeat. Cardiff 1, Wigan 0.
Van Dijk hits the ball long, downfield. Castagna runs away off the top of his left boot, and out for a Liverpool throw on that far side there left as they look for an equaliser. Almost level with the penalty area. Here is Wirtz, midway through the Fulham half, back towards Van Dijk, his forward ball towards McAllister. They keep looking for that ball through the middle, but it's just so congested with white shirts for Fulham.
Yeah, you don't have at the moment for Liverpool a naturally sort of wide player. You know, obviously Salah's not here, he's not out wide. Wirtz always looks to try and come inside. He's starting at the moment right out wide on the left touch line where he receives the ball right now. But he floats all the way around. Szoboszlai comes in. There's no one really right on the touchline. So therefore, for Fulham at the moment, it's been pretty straightforward to defend against because everything's happening right in front of the front three.
This is a scenario that Liverpool fans have seen on many occasions this season where they might have the control of the game, but they can't find the creativity for that penetration to break sides down. Half-time at Tottenham then. Chris Wise.
And Tottenham Hotspur leading Sunderland by a goal to nil. Ben Davies with it, 30 minutes in, simple finish inside the 6-yard box. By far and away one of Tottenham's best first-half performances this season. They've restricted Sunderland. Spurs 1, Sunderland 0.
We've got 10 minutes to go to half-time and a delayed kick-off here. Half-time at Bloomfield Road. Adam Cottier.
Blackpool 0, Bradford 1. A rare goal from defender Aidan Baldwin. A blistering shot into the roof of the goal. Blackpool hit the post in first half added time. Blackpool 0, Bradford 1.
Gakpo with the layoff to Jones. Jones then back to McAllister, who passes the ball out to this near side for Bradley. Almost level with the Fulham penalty area. Back inside then to McAllister. Gravenberch, forward ball. Kirkes about 30 yards out from goal. Liverpool all in red, but then are being forced back and still again can't find that way past this Fulham side as they go across the back. Konate back towards Bradley. Szoboszlai able to turn, but Kenny was the one standing in front of him. So once again, but they're just playing in front of Fulham.
Yeah, a little bit slow with getting the ball forward, so it's easier for Fulham to set up, drop deep, keep their line nice and tight. Just congest that area. They just know that the ball's coming there because Liverpool got players just tucking in those sort of areas in between the two lines, but it's so tight, there's just no room for them.
There's no focal point either with Noah Ekitike. He's out injured. Isak, of course, is going to be missing for at least the next 11 weeks, I would have thought. Half-time at Newcastle, Mike Maine.
0-0, 2 goals for Newcastle United ruled out for offside. Crystal Palace have had to replace Jefferson Lerma in the first half due to picking up a head injury. Palace's best chance came right at the break. Will Hughes on the angle, but he sent it wide. Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0.
Fulham still leading by a goal to nil. Tight triangular passing from Liverpool, intercepted by Lukic. Gives it then to Harry Wilson. Passes the ball towards Castagna. Wilson then had set off on a run forward, but Fulham have been forced to go back, and Diop back towards his goalkeeper, Leno. Middlesbrough visit here next weekend in the FA Cup third round. Today, they're at home to Southampton. Rob Law.
Half-time 0-0. Middlesbrough dominated the opening half an hour, but Southampton finished strong with a number of chances. The best when Tom Fellows was played through 1v1, but lifted the ball well over the Borough crossbar. Middlesbrough need to win to go back up to second. Half-time, Middlesbrough 0, Southampton 0.
There's no goal for Middlesbrough in their last 4.5 games, as Craig Pawson has adjudged that this ball has gone behind for a corner kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, it's really hard to see from where we're sitting. I'm not sure whether the linesman's flagged. We'll see now. We see on the replay, Curtis Jones plays the ball the outside of his foot, in behind.
In comes the corner, the cross from Jones in the meantime. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, it's definitely should have been a goal kick for Fulham.
But nothing materialised from it as Leno bowls the ball out to Robinson. Robinson fires it up towards Wilson. That was an audacious little flick with the back of his heel as he almost got Smith Rowe in. Robinson cuts out a bat intended for Szoboszlai, and Fulham with Jimenez just over the halfway line almost comes to a standstill. 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. Huddersfield now half-time with Nathan Alban.
Whereas 2-1 against Exeter, home side back in front just before the break. Radulovic from close range after 2 very similar goals from Marcus Harness and Exeter's Reece Cole, both receiving from the left and scoring from outside the box. Half-time, Huddersfield 2, Exeter 1.
And the half-time at Everton comes from Sarah Mulkerrins.
Everton 0, Brentford 1. Igor Thiago broke his run of 6 games without a goal when he poked home his 12th of the season. He also forced Pickford into a point-blank save. Barry had a great chance to level it for Everton late on, a diving header save. They've been sloppy. 1-0 Brentford lead.
Liverpool on the attack. Bradley, right-hand side of the penalty area. Tried to pass the ball towards Gakpo. Easily cut out by Smith Rowe. Liverpool win the ball back. It goes off the head of Jimenez. But the Fulham supporters are appreciating the work rate for their Fulham players.
Yeah, certainly Raul Jimenez, he's worked very, very hard in this first 45 minutes. He's chased everything down. There's another example of it where he's made 3 or 4 sprints in a row, just chasing the ball. In the end, he managed to get his head on the end of the last one and puts it out for a throw-in. And for Fulham, it's just comfortable at the moment. Everything's played out in front of them. Liverpool's build-up is quite slow, and they kind of almost expecting the next pass into that area, into the middle of the pitch, which has been easy from the defend against.
McAllister hits a high ball, which Bradley will head into the area, and able to pick the ball up is the Fulham goalkeeper, Ben Leno, away towards our right. Jimenez has just peeled away from Canate, just in case that Leno could have picked out that run to go long and direct, as Fulham still lead by a goal to nil. Under 5 minutes to go to half-time. The clearance does go long, and it's brought down out of the air with ease by Van Dijk. But he passes the ball to Kirkes. Gakpo, Wirtz. Again, it's hard to see Liverpool scoring in this game on the balance of play that we've witnessed in the majority of the first half. Fulham just dropping off. Happy to see Liverpool have the ball in that central area of the field. Not a great deal of movement either from McAllister if you looked at him there.
Yeah, I think Fulham at the moment have just got their line right.
Szoboszlai has made a run off the back of Cuenca, and Cuenca's sliding challenge forces the ball behind for a corner.
Another good example there where Szoboszlai's making that run down the right-hand side. The ball's played over the top. Hasn't got a lot of pace in it because there's not a lot of room.
In comes the corner kick from the right. Flick header away by Robertson. Helped further away by Jimenez. Out for Liverpool, throw far side the left, which they're going to take quickly to Jones on that left-hand side. Jones holds off the challenge of Smith Rowe with just a firm hand in the chest of the former Arsenal player. But Liverpool go back into the centre circle with Canate. His forward ball towards Wirtz. He starts to run forward now. Szoboszlai has moved infield. Wirtz is the one who's actually going to provide the width on this near side, the right. Level with the area. Szoboszlai almost comes to a standstill again. Liverpool looking for an equaliser, trailing to that Harry Wilson goal. They pass the ball out towards Kirkes on the left-hand side. But again, there's no end product coming in from that left-hand side. It goes back towards Jones, to Canate. Fulham still holding a decent line. At the minute, Liverpool are not looking to try and pierce that back line. They're passing the ball across the back towards Bradley. Cries of Liverpool, Liverpool from the travelling support. Wirtz finds to Szoboszlai. Wouldn't sit for him, but he does get the ball out towards Kirkes. Hits it in low. Plenty of white shirts there, and they're able to get the ball clear. Only as far as Van Dijk, off the chest, edge of the area. Battles for the ball, runs away from him, and Castagna puts it out of play for a throw. There might be pressure from Liverpool, but Fulham's defence doesn't look stretched.
No, it doesn't, and that's because Liverpool, I think the movement is too slow. At times, Florian Wirtz is dribbling with the ball too much. Let the ball do the running, play the ball quicker, and they make the movement off the ball, and they're just not doing enough of that, Liverpool, at this moment in time.
We'll go across the capital, half-time at Millwall. Paul Gilmore.
Millwall 1, Swansea 0. Ivanovic on the turn from 10 yards to finally beat the overworked Vigouroux. The visitors' goalkeepers produced an inspired performance. Swansea looked neat and tidy but didn't create much until the final stages of the half. Millwall 1, Swansea 0.
The other half-time scores in the Championship. Blackburn 1, Charlton 2, Derby 1, Wrexham 1, Norwich City 0, Stoke City 0. The games at Sheffield United and Hull City and Portsmouth were all postponed, especially that one at Hull City, very, very late. I think John Bennett said it was something like 20 minutes before kick-off when that game was called off. In League One, I'll give you the half-time scores in a moment, but we've only got 90 seconds remaining of normal time here in this delayed match. Jones looks for a forward ball, that was blocked, and then he trips Wilson. These are the half-time scores. We know Blackpool 0, Bradford 1, and Cardiff leading Wigan by a goal to 0, as well as Huddersfield 2, Exeter 1, Plymouth are 1-0 up against Burton, Reading 0, Stockport 0, and Wycombe lead Wimbledon by a goal to 0. The other games were called off, and in fact there's no games in League 2. The entire 3 p.m. programme was decimated due to the weather in League Two. But we've got 60 seconds remaining of this first half. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. What are your thoughts, Mark Schwarzer?
Well, firstly, I think Marco Silva will be absolutely delighted with the way that Fulham have played in that first 45 minutes. They've controlled the game at times. They've also absorbed the pressure, or some of the pressure that Liverpool have put on them. Liverpool just haven't put enough on them. And I think they've been really comfortable. I don't think they would have thought they'd be as comfortable as they have been in this first 45 minutes.
I've got to say, Konate, for such a strapping central defender, the way he went down yelling when Jimenez has gone towards him.
Yeah, but Jimenez is not watching the ball. All he's watching is Konate make a move towards heading the ball and clearing it, and Jimenez just bundles into him. Yes, it's a little bit elaborate, however, it's absolutely 100% a foul. And of course, as a home fan, you're going to be always booing and cheering a little bit when a play goes down on the opposite side too easily.
For many a year, I used to work with Norman Hunter. Norman would have laughed at Konate's behaviour there. In fact, for Norman, he'd have just shrugged that one off. Knowing Norman, he'd have probably given Jimenez a little bit back.
Well, I think the challenges were slightly different at that time as well, right? I mean, you know.
Jimenez takes a quick throw. Kenny's made the run forward into the area. Back towards Wilson. Wilson passes the ball out wide. Castagna sends over the cross. Here is Jimenez down into the ground. Kenny tries to keep it alive. Might have taken a blow to the face in the process. Fulham lead by a goal to 0. Szoboszlai chasing after Anderson. Quenta on the edge of the centre circle, keeps it with Fulham. And we're in stoppage time now here at Craven Cottage. And Fulham are leading by a goal to 0. 2 minutes of added time that we're into here in West London. And Fulham leading through with that Harry Wilson goal.
We just had a moment there where McAllister has the ball just inside his own half. Gakpo makes a run on the right-hand side towards trying to get in behind the Fulham defence. Florian Wirtz is making a run wide out on the left-hand side, and McAllister just keeps taking more touches, and then looks for the small, slow build-up again. That was a prime example for Liverpool having an opportunity to play the ball in behind.
Gakpo, inside right channel, pulls it back, edge of the area, nobody's there. And Fulham with Robinson can nick it clear over the head of Gravenberch. Here is Konate. Like a pantomime villain, he will be booed and jeered throughout the rest of the game now. Here is Szoboszlai trotting in from the right touchline. Sends it across towards Wirtz. Wirtz on the half volley, lifts it back in towards the penalty area. Well, Liverpool really have been disappointing in an attacking sense. They've been pedestrian and they've been predictable.
Yeah, they've also lacking in ideas. They really have. I mean, for the creativity they do have on the pitch, they just seem to always just look like I've been talking about this first 45 minutes. That short pass into the pockets. No one really looking to make the overlapping runs, and when they do, they tend to hold on to the possession again.
Well, there is the half-time whistle.